you for this opportunity.
This is so amazing.
I'm so excited. Thank you. And I hope I do you justice.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? I've been waiting to do this for such a while, but everything happens for a reason when it's supposed to happen, and it was supposed to happen before Eat, Play, Sleep. It was really and before The Shape of Our Light. This collaboration.
It's so true.
It's all supposed to. Well, imagine if we had done it before when we had the first appointment.
That was July. That was literally beginning of July.
There was no Eat, Play, Sleep. There was no Shape of Her Light. There was no collaboration business-wise. And I feel like since then, our relationship our friendship has evolved into something so much bigger than we ever thought. I'm always like to my mom, she was like, oh, when she like says best friend, I was like, oh, Colette. Oh, Colette. Like, I tell my mom, I was like, she's moved on from being my biz bestie to just being my bestie.
Seriously. You're like my work wife.
Yeah. It's like 2 a.m. Who's awake? Colette. She's the only other person in the world that's awake with me.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Colette, thank you so much for being here. Oh my gosh, this has been a long time coming, but we literally were just talking about how everything happens for a reason and at the time that it's supposed to happen. And this is now our 3rd time trying to do this podcast episode together, but it was, the universe knew that it had to be at this time before both of our beautiful events. I think our relationship, our friendship has evolved into something way bigger than we ever thought it would from July, the first time we talked about doing this episode, to now. So thank you so much for being here, and I'm so excited.
I'm so excited, Lulu, and thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity and being able to share with your community. I'm so excited for this.
I can't wait for everyone to hear your motherhood journey that evolved, because I feel like a motherhood journey isn't just about the babies that we birth. It's about the creative ideas that we birth, the versions of ourselves that we birth along the way as well, right? And I feel like that is an evolution that I have been through and that you have gone through too. So I'm really excited to share your story.
Yes, thank you. I will say, honestly, I feel like my first time becoming a mother was very vanilla. Honestly, it wasn't anything special. We were like, yes, we're ready to have a kid. And it happened very easily. And Charlotte was born. And it just felt, it was hard. Don't get me wrong. But it was just...
It was natural and organic.
Exactly. Exactly. It wasn't we wanted a kid. And we didn't try for too long. And we got pregnant with Charlotte.
Beautiful.
And it wasn't simple. It wasn't easy being a new mom. I had, breastfeeding challenges, and but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary.
Right.
And then I come from a family of 2, and I have an older sister, and my husband is the oldest of 3. So it was very natural that we wanted another one. And Juliet came along 2 years later, exactly 2 years and 1 day.
Yeah,
they were so close to being birthday buddies, literally 1 hour.
Just like Lucas and his dad.
Yes, exactly.
So crazy how that works.
And honestly, I think the hardest part for me was going from 1 to 2 kids.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is I wanted a second one. And when Juliet came, Charlotte was only 2 years old. And the divided attention was just a mind fuck.
It really is.
It really was. And I felt so guilty for having Juliet. I felt so guilty for not giving Charlotte the attention that I thought she needed, and it just felt like it.
You were ripped into 2. You had to be 2 different people for 2 different babies, a caregiver for 2 different children, because it really is, it's whatever gap there is, it's different needs.
Yes.
Different needs that you have to cater to at the same time.
And I literally felt like if Juliet wasn't crying, then Charlotte was crying. If Charlotte wasn't crying, then I was crying. Like, it
Oh
was
my
like,
God. And when do you even have time to like think about your needs?
Yes. And I think the other really challenging part is at that same time, my husband was like birthing his own business baby, and it was so demanding. And honestly, like, even when we talk about it now, Charlie was like, I was not there for Juliet when she was a baby. Like that was just the reality of it.
Yeah.
And it was really, it was so extremely hard.
Yeah.
But so we were chugging along, like, what was it? It was around 2 years later. So Charlotte was 4, Juliet was 2. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have the time. I have the energy. I was working at one of the big 4 in HR.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm kind of bored at my job. Like,
Yeah.
let me like go for another position. Let me get promoted. Like, I feel like I can put myself back into work. I can take care of my body. Like, I felt like I had the time and the energy to reinvest in myself. So I was like, ooh, let's do it. Let's go for this new job at PwC. Let's start to like get a new wardrobe for myself after 4 years of breastfeeding and being pregnant.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was like a time where I had like all these plans of what I thought
of exploration for yourself.
Yes. And then so I was on birth control, and I got pregnant. And while it was like a month after I started my new job, and it was just like, I don't want this. Like, this is not what I planned, not what I wanted.
Not what you were prepared for.
No. And I remember being like, this is like I want to actually like work out, and I want to not go back to wearing nursing bras. And I was so happy with Charlotte and Juliet. Like, I never imagined myself with 3 kids. Yeah. And knowing that Charlie was so busy with work, and that I had the thought in my head that I wouldn't have that support. I was like, I don't even know how I'm going to be doing this with 3 kids. Like, literally, how am I going to function with 3 kids?
Oh my gosh.
So it took a lot of work. Like, me personally, literally, Charlie and I had a conversation, and I was crying, and I was upset at being pregnant, and it was more of a grief. It was like a grief of what I thought I wanted. Yeah.
And it's such a battle that you have internally with yourself, because that's where like the guilt comes in, right? It's like, wow, like this is not what I planned for. This is like, you have to grieve your plans and grieve that exploration time and that time that you were finally starting to feel like yourself. But then also the feeling of like, a baby is a miracle, and the amount of women that would kill to be in my position, all of these things that come up, it's like this internal battle that you have with yourself. Like, I shouldn't feel this way, but this is how I do feel. Yes. And it's like, it's as hard as it is for our partners to also kind of go through a similar, like internal twister. It's so hard as mothers, because we carry these babies and we go through so many different genetic changes and emotional changes, hormonal changes when these things happen. So for you to be there and kind of be stuck with this decision, or this accepting of this decision that you didn't agree to, that you didn't want to, that you didn't have time to like even think about, is so hard. It was
so hard. And I remember I remember being so upset, and I was like in bed with Charlie, and he was like, so what do you want to do? And me personally, I totally respect other people, but I was like, it's not my choice. Like, she's here for a reason. Like, I didn't believe it was my choice. Yeah. I was like,
I agree.
I didn't know it was a girl. Sorry, I didn't know it was a girl at the time. Yeah. But I was like, the baby's here for a reason. And so I went to like virtual therapy, and a lot of it was exactly what you were saying. It was like radical acceptance. It was like literally the radical acceptance that this is only the facts. The facts is that I'm pregnant and I'm going to work through this. And it was, it wasn't the decision part. It was the radical acceptance of where I am at this particular moment.
Exactly.
And it was a lot of working on like, okay, like, yes, I can feel both. Like I can feel really sad about when I'm going to be, or what I thought I was going to be losing. You know, the freedom and the time and the energy. And I could also, and that's mine. That's mine. It's not anyone else's. So when I was sharing that I was pregnant, like I remember joining like a WhatsApp moms group. And it was like the first time I was telling people that weren't part of my close family and friends that I was pregnant. And I remember like literally being like, hey, like I'm due in August with my third baby. And I remember like specifically saying, and to be honest, I'm not really excited about this. And then people were like, thank you for sharing that.
That's
like,
amazing, Colette.
And I was like, wow, like,
it takes a lot of courage. It really does.
Thank you. And what you were saying before was like, hey, how some people could be dying for a baby and wanting that baby so bad. And it's I don't want to say it's not equal at all, but it's like still both are valid. Both are valid that 100%. Hey, this is not what I wanted, not what I planned, and I'm grieving that, and that people are grieving the other part too.
It's hard for the outside to see the mom in this, to see our needs, to see our dreams, to see our wants and our emotional, journey, because once that seed is planted, for lack of a better term, the baby and the news of a baby, like the joy overtakes the what's the word I'm talking about? The rational side of what's actually going on. And I feel like it's because moms are so scared to talk about what they really go through when it comes to finding out they're pregnant or unexpectedly getting pregnant, or even just their journey of pregnancy to begin with. We are, because of society and because of our culture and because of our families, we are expected to always feel joy and be happy and brush aside any other feelings that aren't positive and ecstatic and happy. And all we're doing is silencing moms. We're silencing women before they even become mothers. And it's so crazy to me because that is not done with men. It's not done with the fathers, when they are put in a position where unexpectedly they are now going to be fathers and they make the decision not to be fathers. People understand it. People are like, you know what? It's fine. Like, he doesn't have to carry the baby. It's his decision. He has the opportunity to speak out. But we do not.
No, it's like your body was made for this, so you're...
Exactly, so you chose this. This is what you were born to do. And that's just such toxic ideas, because now that we have daughters, it's like I would never, ever imagine pushing something like this on Estella. I would never imagine judging her for any decision, whether it is keeping a baby or deciding to terminate a pregnancy, because everybody's situation is different. So not one idea is related to a certain, I guess, energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember when I was what was it? It was like around like 7 or 8 weeks pregnant with Violet. And typically, I wouldn't tell anyone that early, but we were going to Mexico on vacation with my parents. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to feel my best. So let me tell them. And so we told them around Christmas time. And I remember like they were so excited. And I was like, I told them, I was like, I'm not excited about this. And they're like, okay, that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah. And we should be able to talk about those things. We should be able to talk about it, because I know for my first, I wasn't able to be as open as I would have wanted to be about what was going on. I was also unexpectedly pregnant on the pill.
Yeah.
And it was a very big shock. And while I was feeling grateful and blessed, there was so many emotions that I didn't get to express. There were so many feelings that I had to set aside because of this idea that what you feel, the baby feels.
Yes.
What you feel gets transmitted to the baby. The energy you hold is the energy you attract. Yes, that's true. But at the same time, you can't unfeel feelings.
Yes.
You can't unfeel things that is organic, that is coming from a deeper place, and the joy, and when you don't have your typical situation of planning for a baby with a loved one that you love and that you're preparing for, then you're gonna have all the other emotions, and instead of helping remove those emotions or alleviate the emotions, we're just hiding them, bottling it up, and feeling guilt, and feeling that those are never going to go away. You're just setting them aside.
Yeah.
You're setting them aside.
That's exactly what I learned when I was working through being pregnant with Violet. Like Charlotte and Juliet, they saw me visibly upset. Like they saw me like having conversations with Charlie about like just being upset in general. Yeah. And even like, I think it was like, honestly, like a week ago, it was Charlotte who was like, remember when you were upset when you were pregnant? And I was like, I do remember that. And I'm so grateful to have Violet now. Like, so they saw me upset. And during that time, I will add that like when she saw me upset, it was very much like, yeah, I'm just working through a few things on, the baby in my belly. And like, I kind of said things like that.
Yeah. But do you know what you're doing when you do that? You're showing your kids to be emotionally intelligent, for them to know that it's okay to feel one way one moment and feel another way another moment.
Yeah.
Estella does the same thing. She says, Mommy, do you remember when you would cry when you were pregnant with Lucas, when you were so sick and you were vomiting all the time with your throw up bags? And I said, yeah, Stella, that was one of the hardest times of my life. But look at us now. Yeah. I'm so excited to have Lucas here. And it was worth it. It was worth it going through that roller coaster of emotions. Yes. And that's kind of how I express this like waves to Stella and to Lucas, that there are going to come moments in our lives where we're forced to have these roller coasters, where it's going to be ups and downs. But they need to know that it's okay to move through them. It's okay to feel all of those feelings, because those feelings and those experiences are taking you to something bigger, to a lesson, to something greater than this moment or these emotions. So that's so beautiful, Colette, that you did that with your girls, because you're showing them emotional intelligence.
Yeah, thanks. And even like Juliet will be like, oh, you didn't want 3 kids, right? And I was like, no, I didn't want it. No. But now, now we're a little squad.
Yeah, exactly. And what a blessing it is that you went with your intuition, that you chose, that you had a choice, that you were able to listen to your needs, of expressing your feelings and being vocal about it, because you didn't have to bottle it up as much as a lot of women do. And once Violet came into the picture, it's like you were ready for her, you know?
That's the thing. That's, I think, what helped so much. I did so much like inner work while I was pregnant.
Like a grieving process.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That when she came, honestly, this might sound so crazy, but going from 1 to 2 was way harder than going from 2 to 3.
Yeah,
like
I've heard that that's actually,
it's so crazy.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And maybe just I was like, I can control what I can control, and I had, you know, for postpartum, I had a postpartum night doula, which was what a blessing.
Wow.
Because I was like, when I was pregnant, I was like, I cannot do like all the nights by myself. Like,
oh my goodness.
So I was very fortunate. Amazing postpartum doula for the nights, for like the first 8 weeks or so. And then I got an after school nanny from 4 to 8, which has been such a blessing. And so she just turned 13 months in September. And so this was all when I was on maternity leave and about to go back to my full-time job. And I remember on my vision board, like I still have it in the house, I had like 3 things on my vision board. I had no idea what they meant, but I said, I'm a boss. That was one of them. I literally said, I'm a boss.
I love that.
The other one was, I want to continue breastfeeding, period. Because I intentionally was like leaving it open-ended.
Yeah.
And then the third one was, asking for support is not selfish. It was like a really big board, and I only had those 3 things, and I was like, okay, that's okay. It looks really empty, but we're just gonna keep those 3.
That's amazing.
And like looking back, 9 months later, I'm like, what the actual heck? Like, that's crazy. Amazing. And when I wrote those things on the board, like Sleep Babe was not even like a twinkle in my eye.
Wow.
Like crazy.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's called manifesting.
Exactly. I know. That's like the definition
of manifestation. And the power of our energy and our minds, what we throw out into the universe is what comes back. And that's so amazing. And I feel like I also did a vision board. It was more like just like a drawing, honestly. It was like a piece of paper, and I drew like just like a bunch of swirls and colors and things, and I also didn't know what it meant, but I was like, I feel like this represents motherhood for me. Like, this is just like a bunch of smeared colors. And that's kind of how my logo came to mind.
Yes.
So it was it's so crazy. That was like, I don't even know, probably like 9 months ago too. And I was just like, there's something that I have to do, but I don't know what. And I remember I was painting with Estella, and she had gotten a gift of like from Target. They have like these little painting sets, and I was painting with Estella, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna make, but I just started like swirling around like colors, and I was like, this means something. I don't know what it means, but it means something. So it's amazing what we can do and what we can create out of our experiences, out of our lessons that we've learned through motherhood, right?
That is nuts. I didn't know about the vision board.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a vision board. It was more just like I guess at the time I didn't know, but it was maybe channeling. It was maybe just like downloads that I was getting. It was, I could just see like colors like smeared like watercolor smear, and I was like, I keep seeing this vision. I don't know what it is, but keeping it in the back of my head just for memory, and sure enough, there it is. Can you tell us about Sleep Babe?
Yeah,
now
absolutely.
that we're on the topic.
Yeah, so this came when I was back from maternity leave. So it was January. I went back to my full-time job. And during this time, like, Violet was sleeping terribly. She was taking the bottle fantastically. I was, pumping during the day and then taking the bottle lovely, like chef's kiss.
Yeah.
But she was nursing nonstop at night, like non-frickin' stop.
Oh my
I was completely touched out. Like, husband and I, totally different love languages. And I was doing a really shitty job at work. I was not showing up the way I wanted to for Charlotte and Juliet. Like, think like that, like snapping at them, like no patience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I felt
gosh.
Honestly, I was doing a terrible job at everything. Like, for Charlotte and Juliet, like being a terrible wife, like I was doing a terrible job at work. Like, I was just not functioning at my best at all. And I mean, I just wasn't sleeping. It was literally because of sleep deprivation that, like, I was functioning terribly.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to one of my other coworkers who had just returned from maternity leave. So Violet and her son were the same age, and we were just talking about it. I had not even considered sleep training. Like, I did not sleep train Charlotte and Juliet because I think, like, I was just like, what's the point? Kids don't sleep at night. Like, they're terrible sleepers, but they just don't, like, babies aren't supposed to sleep. So, like, I'll just, like,
wing it.
Yeah, wing it on them. Yeah. And also, I thought that it was just like putting them in the room and letting them cry it out.
Yeah.
And I thought I would have to stop breastfeeding, and I worked really hard to be able to breastfeed Charlotte and Juliet, and even Violet. She had a tongue tie, so that was a whole other issue when she was first born. So it was something that, like, I wanted to continue to do to bond with Violet, just not like all night, every night. So
just not all night.
Yeah, exactly. So I was talking to my other coworker. Her son and Violet were the same age, and she was like, "Yeah, have you thought of sleep training?" And I was like, "No, I haven't. But, like, I'm just barely holding on by a thread over here. So let me do it." Yeah. So I spoke to a sleep consultant. It was a 45, 30-minute conversation. And I just felt really heard. Yeah. Like, I felt really heard that I did not have to night wean. Mm-hmm. I did not have to have her in a room by herself and just shut the door and be like, "Okay, see you in the morning, Violet."
Yeah.
Like, I was actually able to, like, we put together a plan that I was able to be near her. Like, there was no separation involved. Wow. And I could still breastfeed her in a way that felt good for me, when it felt good for me, knowing that she was taking all her caloric intake and nutrition during the day. And it was just such an empowering conversation. And it's so funny because I remember it was March. It was March of 2025. And I remember literally texting Charlie being like, "I know what I want to do." And he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." Like, it was like that. It was like that easy.
That's
like,
so funny.
It was like literally like that easy.
That's verbatim what happened with me and Jared.
What? Really?
Well, no. I had said I didn't want to go back to work, but I said I do want to work. I do want to do something, like, with myself at some point. And he's like, "Okay, when you figure that out, let me know." And then the same thing, I was like, "I know what I want to do." And he's like, "Okay, let's do it."
Crazy.
I was like, "You haven't even heard what I want to do."
Well, you don't even know, like, the logistics.
No, and he's like, "It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's amazing." And I'm like, what?
That's the same thing. Like, I literally, he had no idea of the logistics. I had no idea of the logistics or what that meant or what to do. I just knew I had a 45-minute conversation with someone, and it helped me and empowered me and inspired me. And I was like, okay. Yeah. Like, that. And it was just, like, it was just so crazy. And then middle of April, I quit my corporate job, and it just was like,
right?
Oh my gosh, it was like such a weight. Yes. And then I was like, what the hell am I doing now? Like, what the actual, like, how?
Yeah, and it's funny, you don't notice how much weight you were carrying from that job because you're so used to the corporate job. Yes. You're so used to your life carrying these pounds on you until you let go of things that don't that don't belong to you anymore,
Yes.
things that aren't your purpose, and you feel like, oh my God, why was I living like that?
Yes.
That's how I felt when I left my corporate job.
And you know what's so funny? I actually, that NGN event that we had, that I met you, that was 2 days before my last day at my corporate job.
Oh my God.
And I think Violet was on that conference call. Do you remember?
Yes, she was. 100%. 100%. Because I remember how I was like, how cool is this? Like, I knew this was the right group for me because you literally were like, I'm so sorry, ladies. I have to breastfeed her. I was like, hell yeah, do it, girl. I was like, yes, like these are the women I want to be in the room with. Women who are not ashamed of being who they are, of doing what they need to do. And moms,
No joke.
who get it, who are trying here to like do what I'm doing, but at the same time, caregiving for other kids.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Amazing.
So that was crazy. So I left my job. I'm not into tattoos, but I joke that I want to get a tattoo of April 11th because
we'll go.
Yeah.
I have to get and I want to get another tattoo too. I've been thinking about getting a tattoo of a falcon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
we should go.
I'm terrified of tattoos.
Why? It's really not. It's not. See, they told me that this is like one of the this and the ribs are the hardest places to get because there's like
the skin is
sensitive.
so soft.
It's so sensitive,
it's so thin,
right?
Yeah.
And it really was not.
Really?
But again, I do have a high tolerance.
Okay.
I have a very, very high tolerance for pain now.
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I think something more meaningful than April 11th. But
let me know.
Yeah.
If it's significant to you, it'll be cool.
That's true. So quit my corporate job and then just dove in. So I am certified in pediatric sleep and also so excited, also certified in special needs sleep, which is...
That's amazing. Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you. So
I don't know why that makes me want to cry because I feel like that's so beautiful. I love that, Colette.
Thank you.
I feel like that's one of the things that definitely makes you stand out because I don't think that I've heard that before.
I don't know how common it is, but so I got certified with the Institute of Parenting and Pediatric and Sleep Parenting.
Amazing.
And they had this certification for special needs. And when I was in high school, I volunteered at like Best Buddies, and I volunteered at an after-school program.
Buddies.
Yeah, for individuals like high school students who either had autism or Down syndrome or special needs, and it was such like an amazing experience.
Yeah.
And then what was really cool was there was a sleepaway camp that I had heard of for only individuals with Down syndrome.
Yeah.
I think it's still around. It's called Camp Pals.
Syndrome.
So like when I was looking at the different certification programs, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And after taking the program and getting that certification, like individuals with autism, with Down syndrome, with sensory processing disorders, their sleep needs are so incredibly different than neurotypical kiddos.
Yeah.
And the parents need, like my heart just like for the parents and the moms and the dads who are managing like all the care that and the support those kids need, like from occupational therapy, behavioral.
The extra tools, extra education, extra help and needs that they need, that the parents need, and also the kids need.
Exactly. So I was like, oh my gosh, let's get certified in this. And so I'm really excited. So a lot of exciting things to happen with that side, and for me to be able to support those families as well. But
I love that, Colette. And that's where Sleep Babe was born.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Thank you. So I really when I work with parents, it's not just like, honestly, this is probably going to be bad for me to say, but like you can Google like wake windows. You can Google like anything, like different methods of sleeping.
Instagram, TikTok,
yes, exactly.
it's all, YouTube videos.
It's all there.
Yes.
And what I think is different, different is the fact that I specifically take into consideration like your parenting approach. Like
you cater to them.
Yes, exactly.
That's
and even
different.
like Estella, what's her personality like? What's her temperament? Is she adaptable to change, or does she have high sensory needs that we need to fulfill her bucket before going to sleep to make that transition smoother? Like what is it that Estella needs to be able to have a good night's rest?
Exactly.
And what approach is aligning with your parenting style and
our values, all of
yes,
that.
Yes, exactly. Your philosophy. So it's not just like cookie cutter, like, oh, here's a schedule.
Right.
That doesn't work for you if you're a working mom.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Like, I wish I had known you when Estella was a baby, because I had a very hard time finding a way to get her to sleep because she had terrible acid reflux. So she couldn't lay on her back, and she would cry and cry and cry, and I'd have to swaddle her super tight and had to have her like elevated, and I'm trying all these different crazy ways of getting her to sleep. But there was no doctor, nobody out there who could really give me like a concrete like answer as to how do I get my baby to sleep? Yeah. What do I do? What do I do so that I can sleep in peace? Because even though she did find a way to sleep, I couldn't sleep because I was scared for her. I was like, what if she vomits while she's asleep and she chokes on her vomit? Like all these things that was like, then it wasn't about the baby. Then it was about me, like my needs, and having somebody talk to me and tell me, this is valid. Let's work through this. Yes. And I feel like that's what you do. You take into consideration, yes, the baby's needs, which is sleeping well, having a good rest, being safe while they sleep, but then also incorporating the parents' needs. Yes. What do they need? They need a structured schedule, or they need something flexible because of their work schedules. What do they need? Emotional support. They need education. They need this, that. So it's just incredible what you do because it's so tailored to each family that you work with.
But that's 100% true. And like sleep is literally a biological need. Like you literally cannot function your best when you don't have the opportunity to restore the major functions of your body. Right. And that's exactly what sleep is. Sleep is your body taking that chill to like everything from like muscle repair, like hormone regulation, protein synthesis, like just as much as babies need sleep because they're growing exponentially during that first year of life. Yeah. Like we physically need sleep to be able to function our best. Yeah. And that's where I was like 9 months ago or less than 9 months ago when I was completely sleep deprived with Violet. Yeah. Like I was literally not able to show up the way I wanted to for Charlotte and Juliet and my husband and my work. And it's like a lot of the conversations I have is education, empowerment, and also being like, you're not doing anything wrong, Lulu. Yeah, like you're literally not doing, nothing is wrong with Estella. Nothing is wrong with you. You're doing everything. And it's,
that in of itself goes such a long way, Colette, because I feel like all moms go through that, especially when they have a new baby. It's like, am I doing this right? Even if you've had 3 kids before that, every baby is different. I know because there are things that I had to experience this time around with Lucas that I never had to experience with Estella. So it's like there's always new things with each baby, and I feel like all that weight is on the moms.
Oh, 100%.
To figure it out, to understand it, to ask the right questions, to get the right answers. It's just like it's all internal baggage that we have to hold on to.
It's literally such a load. And I was just on a call the other day, and you know, oftentimes the mom is the one that reaches out to me for a discovery call or to like be like, hey, this is the sleep challenge that we're having. And I literally require the partner to be on the full consultation and for the partner to do the first night minimum. The first night minimum, I usually say first 2 nights of sleep training.
That's amazing.
Because honestly, that's where you see the success. You see the success when we're like the 3 of us, the mom and the partner and myself, we're just like step by step. We're like, we're all aligned. That's
You're integrating the support system for the mom.
Exactly. It's
so amazing.
It's like not carrying the load of just the mom.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I had like the best discovery call. It was just like so refreshing. This was a few weeks ago. The dad reached out to me. And
That's so amazing.
It was literally the dad who reached out to me. And he was like, I'm having this call on behalf of my wife. And I just loved that so much that he literally just carried that load for her, being like, my wife is, the wife was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And she was not doing, too well because she was completely sleep deprived. Yeah. And he was just like, I want to help out my wife. And I was just like, oh my gosh, there's so much hope.
Yes.
And that was just like literally the most refreshing conversation.
Right. And it's one less step you have to worry about, which is integrating the partner and integrate and building this support system for the mom so that when you're not there, she has someone or she feels like she has someone, because we're not always going to have our partners, like it's hard. Our partners have the responsibility of going and working and providing for our family, but just to know that we have support. It doesn't even have to be physical support, just to know that we're being heard, that we're being understood and validated. That in and of itself is such a huge gift. Such a huge gift to give to moms, to give to families, to partners. And it also brings confidence. I think the confidence aspect is huge. I want to talk to you about that because I feel like once the moms feel that support and feel heard and have the knowledge behind sleep training, then like the confidence starts to come up. And that is what babies feel. Babies can feel confidence from their moms when they feel safe, when they feel like their room is prepared for them to sleep. I learned this from you in your session that you did in Jersey City about how to help the baby feel safe. Because even though it's just a baby and it doesn't really have like thoughts and things going on, they still do need to feel that safety that they felt in their mom's womb, right? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So a lot of it is 100%. It's education, knowing that literally newborns thrive off of proximity to their mother. Like literally for 9 months, they were doing their business, growing in like a compact, tight space. So it's like super bright out in the real world. It's cold. So how do we mimic that environment in the real world? And a lot of it like is like having contact naps. That's biologically normal. Like nursing to sleep is normal. Like this is all things that I think in the like content heavy world that we live in, that people are like, oh no, you shouldn't be nursing to sleep, or like productivity, having a contact nap, that's productivity. Like it's reframing what productivity is. And I've had to wrap that around my brain as well. And knowing that you are doing exactly what you were made to do by
what is natural.
Yes, natural, like baby wearing, contact nap, nursing to sleep. So how do we mimic that environment? A lot of it is like you said, like building that like using tools to be able to mimic that. So like swaddling, for example, mimics that like tight nature of the womb, or like shushing, like literally in the womb, your baby is hearing like that blood stream, like nonstop. So yeah, it's like that vacuum cleaner noise, or rocking to sleep. Like it's not, like literally you were walking around, lifting things, going upstairs, going downstairs. So like even rocking to sleep is natural to be a soothing mechanism for babies. And that's half the battle. It's educating that, yes, this is what's expected, and this is when there are red flags, or this is when you know to reach out to, you know, me or a lactation consultant, or like pediatric physical therapy. So there are like red flags, and then it's also educating, most importantly, it's educating them on what is normal for a baby and for a newborn.
And I feel like, would you agree that a lot of those things have been kind of shadowed out because of fear? It's out of fear for safety, and it's understandable to be cautious, obviously, to be safe, but not everything is, you know, unsafe. Not everything is... I feel like we're in a society right now where we all have to be always so careful of what we do out of the fear of things happening, because of you know, stories that we've heard happen to families, or you know, things in the news, judgment, all of those things. But it's so important, especially for new moms, to know that your intuition is so much bigger. It is so much brighter than all of the other noise out there, and that 99.9% of the time your intuition is right. So if you feel like your baby needs that contact nap on top of you, it's probably because they do. You know, nobody knows your baby more than you do.
Exactly. And it's this very same thing of like, I don't know, like someone telling me, hey, like, why are you still nursing Violet? She's 13 months. And it's like, because she loves it. Like,
because she loves it and I love it, and it's not broken. Like, why am I going to be it's not broken like that?
Like, and it's the same thing of, you know, hearing the noise, wherever that may be, of, you know, like, you shouldn't be rocking your baby to sleep. If it's serving you, great. If not, that's where I come in. Like, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Like, if it's serving you that you nurse your baby, great. If it's not, then that's where I can help you.
Right.
You know, like, it's getting rid of the shoulds, getting rid of the noise, and trusting your intuition of what feels good for you, and going with that, like 100%.
Yeah, I feel like the second time around, got more information about do's and don'ts, and not even do's and don'ts, just like that middle gray area, because I started talking to other moms about their experiences rather than going to books. And there was maybe one book that was kind of very modernized, contemporary, like sleep baby things to do and not to do, but like I feel like I've learned more from talking to my mom friends, just by hearing their experiences and being like, okay, that could work for me, or no, that won't work for me because my baby's not like that. So it's just, you get more information, and I feel like you get more freedom and confidence to listen to your intuition when you talk to other moms, when you're in mom groups and we share our experiences. It's not to tell other moms what to do or what not to do. It's like, hey, if you happen to go through the same experience or a similar experience, this is what worked for us or this is what didn't work for us.
Yes.
And then when we are kind of in that in between of like that battle of like, this is what I want to do, but I don't know if that's the right thing to do, or I don't know if that's the safe thing to do. That's when we reach out to you, right?
Yeah,
that's like
exactly.
when we have like that conflicted, like,
yes.
don't know what to do. I know what I want to do, but I don't know if that's right.
Or like knowing like, okay, this is not serving me anymore. Like,
Right.
this is not serving me. Like, you're at a point when like you need help. Like, that's when I come in to give you that perspective and put like all the puzzle pieces together for you. And knowing that you're not alone. Like, you're like, that's the hard part too, is that when you're in it, when you're completely sleep deprived, like even the idea of like, where do I start to fix sleep? That can be like
that's overwhelming.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. That's overwhelming.
Like, where do I even begin?
Exactly. And the way I approach it is very much like baby steps. Like, yes, we have a whole plan, but we're going to start simple and then we're going to build it.
So gently. even before trying anything, we could reach out to you, because just the thought of having to think about having to try the cry out method, that in and of itself could be like, so I know how terrifying it was for me to even think about that with Estella, because I was at a point where I just didn't know what else to do, and having to start there was like so sad.
But here's the thing. To be honest with you, I don't even use Cry It Out for my clients. Like, that's not a method I choose. And people think that sleep training is mutually exclusive with Cry It Out. And that's not the case at all. So I don't even use it if my, even before having a client and they're like, I want to try Cry It Out. I'm like, okay, amazing. To be honest with you, you don't need me if you want to try that, you know? So it's like knowing that, hey, there's so many more options.
Yeah, that's just one method.
Just one. Yes.
One of many different ways
approaches,
that you can approach sleep training, and to try and see which shoe fits best for your family. That's where you come in.
Exactly. And they also think that like sleep training is mutually exclusive with night weaning, which is not the case, because even it could be up to a 12-month-old that they need to be fed at night for whatever reason that is, whether that's weight gain or whatever that may be. But it doesn't mean that babies are going to sleep 12 hours a night, because you and I, to be honest with you, we don't even sleep 12 hours.
No.
We wake up multiple times due to that switching of the sleep cycle from REM to non-REM. So babies are going to wake up. It's just teaching them that skill set of independent self-soothing. That's literally what it is.
The self-regulation.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that, Colette. This is why you are the best at what you do, because not only do you obviously have the training and you have the certifications and you have the knowledge, but you bring something more personal to your work. It's that empathy and compassion that you have for not just the babies, but for the moms, And it's because you lived it. Like, who better to teach you how to do this than somebody who knows what it feels like to be sleep deprived, to just feel like helpless. Like, what do I do? Somebody who has been through that battle and came out on the other side of it and is now teaching other moms.
And I don't think what is spoken about enough is, like, literally I was on the brink of a divorce. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. And that was like the impetus of me sleep training, because I was like, I need to take care of myself, because nothing is working out too hot now. Exactly. And I don't think people talk about that enough. No. The marital impact.
The tension, the impact. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't just trickle down to you being sleep deprived and you not being able to function, but like you said, it trickles down to your kids. You can't take care of your kids the way you want to take care of them. You can't pour into your marriage the way that you want to pour into your marriage. And then there's always this like imbalance of for moms and people in relationships who have kids, it's like you're the default parent. You're gonna be the default parent. That's just the way it is, because either you're the stay-at-home mom, or you're the one breastfeeding, or you're the one who carried the baby, or you're just the mom, period. Like, there is weight that you are going to carry that your partner is not able to carry for you, and that comes with a lot of tension and resentment and just feeling alone in this. I mean, I was a single mom with Estella the first 2 years, the first year and a half of her life. But I also felt kind of like a single mom with Lucas, because my husband has such a demanding job, just like yours. And there were so many times where I felt like, I feel like I'm carrying this on by myself. And it was that transition from 1 to 2 was also really hard. So it really does impact every aspect of your life, and we don't talk about it enough when it comes to the marriage portion, because of the fear, the shame, or you're not supposed to talk about those things. But it is important to talk about them, because other moms need to know that it's not them, that it's not just them, that this is something that happens with newborns, and it happens with your second child and your third child, and it happens with the struggle of being a mom and having kids. And it's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something, struggle is not something to hide. I feel like struggle is something that needs to be spoken about, so that other people feel heard and feel validated,
and that you can get the help you need.
Exactly.
Like whatever method,
giving them faith.
Yes. Yeah. Like, yeah,
hope that there's a way to not get out of this.
Yeah, to not throw in the towel. Like, you can make the change,
Exactly.
And you're not a victim. Like, you can make the change you need to do whatever you need to do to change your situation.
Yes.
And that's really where like this came from. It was like knowing that that was literally the change I needed. Like, the change I needed was to sleep train Violet.
Yeah. And that was a support you needed to give yourself.
Yes.
And I feel like it comes right back to that. Like, giving moms a support, I feel like a lot of moms expect that their partner has to be the only person that supports them in this parenthood, motherhood journey. But that's just not the case. Like, in indigenous cultures, they have a whole entire village. That's where the saying, it takes a village. It's because women were not meant to take care of babies by themselves.
100%.
Women were not supposed to be the sole caregivers of babies and being the ones who raise them and teach them and inspire them and all these things. And it wasn't even supposed to be that way for just two people, for partners. It's supposed to take a village, and you have to come to that realization. And sometimes it comes with hitting rock bottom, being sleep deprived and being depressed, postpartum depression, the rage, the resentment, the guilt. You have to take a look inside you and be like, okay, I need support. I can't depend on my partner to give me that full support, so I need to find that for myself, whether that's a nanny, whether that's a sleep consultant, whether that's a friend or a parent that helps. So, like, asking for help, like in your vision board.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
It's okay to ask for help. You're meant to ask for help, because we're not supposed to do this on our own.
Exactly. No, absolutely.
No person is supposed to carry all of this on their own.
And I think if I didn't do that self-work while I was pregnant with Violet, I think I don't think any of that would have happened if I didn't do that self-work beforehand.
Well, and that's why she came.
Yeah,
and
I know.
That's why she came.
Oh my gosh, she is literally, I know you've met her a few times, right?
Yes, she is a light. She is a light. She was supposed to come. She knew it too. She decided.
Oh
she
my
was
gosh.
like, I am coming. I am here for a purpose. And her purpose was to ignite that light in you again, for you to find, to give you that path. And that's what Estella was for me too. That's why I called her Estella Mia, my star. She was that star that guided me towards this awakening. And I feel like your girls and Violet was like the cherry on top.
Did you know? I don't think I told you this. Violet's middle name is Estelle. So.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
And I didn't. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I never told you that.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Exactly.
She is your star.
Yes.
She was that star that guided you towards this light that you always had, but she came here and she was like, I'm going to show Mom.
Yes.
I'm going to be the person who leads her right to the path that she's supposed to, go towards. And now you're helping other moms find that light themselves, It's beautiful.
Thank you. I joke. She is just like, from the moment she was born, I'm like, she's just happy to be alive. Like, she's just like, so.
She is very happy to be alive. She's a beautiful light, and all three of your girls are a complete reflection of who you are. The compassion and the empathy and the love that you pour into your girls, into your family, is the same love and compassion that you pour into your clients. And that's what makes you stand out from all of the sleep consultants out there,
Thank you, Lulu.
You have that X factor, which is just feeling that connection with families and knowing how to help them and be the best versions of themselves.
That's exactly what
just
it is.
giving them the tools, and then at one point, stepping back and knowing that you did your job, and that's it. It's incredible what you do. I'm so excited for your beautiful business. It's thriving. I'm excited for our friendship and relationship, both personal and professionally.
Yes.
I'm just so excited for you, and I'm happy to have met you and to see you grow, and for your event. Let's talk about your event.
Yes.
Tell
Could I start pumping?
Oh, yes, let's pump.
Okay.
Let's pump. I never got to use one of those, but I always wanted to.
Oh, it's not that fun. You are not missing out, girl. You are not missing out. I just need to make sure it's like all together.
It's so cute. It's so awesome. At least we have that going for us, that there's been some sort of, evolution to the pump products that now are being used. Now we can do it on the go.
Yeah, this is not sponsored, but this is Free Me.
Free Me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, there are. I think I've tried like 3 or 4 during my 3 postpartum experiences. Yeah. But this seems to be the winner. Oh.
Now, did you breastfeed through all three?
I did, yeah. Wow. I did.
For a year each?
So it's actually pretty funny. I just need to fix this, but I got pregnant with Juliet while I was breastfeeding Charlotte, which is not abnormal, but so I breastfed Charlotte until I was 9 weeks pregnant with Juliet, and I was like, we're not doing this anymore. Yeah. So I stopped breastfeeding Charlotte at 17 months. And by that time, it's just during the day and during the morning, it's nothing. Or it's during the morning and during the evening.
Right.
And then with Juliet, I breastfed her until 15 months. Wow. And then with Violet, I was really being, she was born with a tongue and a lip tie.
Oh my God.
So
did they have to cut it or it just
yeah,
resolved?
I did get it laser
Yeah.
removed. And that was like, I had a lot of support from like my lactation consultant, a frenectomy specialist, and she also went to physical therapy for her tongue and her lip tie, and then she had torticollis. So it was a lot of physical therapy that she was going through while I was on maternity leave. And she was like slow to gain weight as well. So it was like a lot of attention on like, oh, is she feeding enough?
Yeah.
And when I actually returned from maternity leave, like it was pretty natural with the stress. My supply like totally dipped. So I had never fed my kids formula before.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a lactation consultant and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. She's
it's a whole transition.
Yes. So really interesting. I introduced formula to her while I was still pumping and getting as much milk as possible. And that was such a relief. It was like it's not all up to me.
Yeah.
It was like
that is best.
Yes. And what had happened, the miraculous part, Lulu, literally my supply went back up to normal. I literally only had her on formula for, I think it was 1 month, and it wasn't even solely formula. It was like, I think like 25% formula, like the rest breast milk.
Yeah.
Because I was still producing, just not as much as I needed to.
Yeah.
And like just that stretch, that release of being like, it's not all up to me physically. My supply went back to normal. So like, I am just like mind blown. It was just like so mind blowing to be like, yeah, you can. Like that was the support I need.
Well, that's all. It's all connected,
exactly.
And that's why it's important.
Yes, it was just so amazing.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
So that was all before I spoke to a sleep consultant. That was all like that was leading up to.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So crazy.
Amazing. I'm always amazed I'm always amazed by seeing my friends and how long they can breastfeed. I'm always like, it's just so beautiful to me. I think, I don't know, it's either way, it's beautiful for me, because I never got to breastfeed. So, I mean, I tried for about 2 months with Estella, but I just had absolutely no production at all because I had postpartum depression and I had like so much going on with my body during my pregnancy as it was that after I had Estella, I was 95 pounds. I was like skin and bones, and all I could think about was like, how am I going to get myself to a point where I'm healthy to produce? And that in and of itself was stress that was causing me not to be able to produce. So it was like a lot of factors that went into it. And then later on, when I got pregnant with Lucas, I found out that it was like way more than I thought it was. I thought it was postpartum depression and that it just didn't work out. But like what I felt when I breastfed was the complete opposite of what scientifically you're supposed to feel, because when you breastfeed, all of the good hormones,
oxytocin
and all goes up. But for me, it was the complete opposite. Those chemicals would go down, and that is an actual condition called DMER. It's DMER.
I've heard of it.
That nobody told me about, not even my OBGYN. When I would go for my checkups and I'd tell him, hey, like, I feel like miserable. Not just miserable with pain, but like, I feel like an overwhelming sadness. Like how you would feel when somebody passes away, like sadness. Like such deep sadness. And it was only when I breastfed. And then when I would take her off, like 2 minutes later, I'd feel like, okay. So I was just like, it has to be like postpartum depression. It's got to be something related to this. But when I got pregnant with Lucas, and my husband Jared and I were talking about, like, you know, are we gonna try and breastfeed? And Jared was like, I'm gonna, whatever, it's your body, whatever you feel comfortable. And I was like, I honestly don't even want to try, because the first time around it was so sad, and it was just, I felt like it robbed me from like a bonding moment that I was supposed to have with Estella. And then when I started feeding her formula, that's when I started to bond with her, because I had all the great feels. I didn't have to worry about the stress of like breastfeeding her. I had my full attention on her with the bottle, and she fed really well with the formula. So it's just like, it's so much more. It's fed is best, but it's like, it's not just best for the baby, but it's what's best for the mom too.
Exactly.
And then my husband was the one who was like, you know that there's a condition called Demer. I think that's what you had. And I was like,
oh, he told you that.
yeah. And I was like, wait, what? That's like an actual thing? He's like, yeah. I'm pretty sure I remember that reading that in the literature. It's like an actual thing. Like, it's like a chemical thing. It's like, and the amount of guilt that was lifted off of me, because for years I had felt such immense guilt. But it's like, think about it. Like, why do we have to feel that guilt? Because I had lactation consultants and stuff saying, keep trying, and my breast would bleed and it would hurt. It was terrible. And I was like, oh my God. So then this second time around, I went in like not feeling any guilt, of being like, I'm so excited to feed Lucas. I know he's gonna be happy from day one getting fed formula. He's not gonna care if it's me. But it was such a completely different experience. But I have like this weight lifted off of me, knowing like it wasn't me.
No,
like
it wasn't
you know, like I had already felt that way with Estella, because it's like, we are programmed to think that just because we're women, our bodies are made to have babies. It's gonna naturally happen. Exactly. And yes, it is, a lot of it is very natural, but a lot of it isn't cookie cutter, like how we expect it to happen. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's like knowing, like, I think that was the part where your husband like actually educated you on it, and you're like, oh, okay, like this makes so much sense. Like,
knowledge is power when it comes to parenting and being a mom, and like genetically knowing what's going on with your hormones and with your body uniquely to you.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Not everybody's bodies was made for having babies. Not everybody's bodies is going to be able to, you know, there is infertility. There's so many things that could come up. And I feel like a lot of doctors and a lot of society doesn't really shed light on that. Because of why? Because of the fear. They don't want to instill fear in people, but it's not fear. It's education. Exactly. It's comfort, knowing that if these things happen, you're not the only one. Yes, it's not your fault.
No. And I know, like, lactation consultants helped me so much in my breastfeeding journeys for all three of them. And the really amazing ones are the ones that don't put any shame to it. Yeah. Like, when I had my lactation consultant on speed dial being like, I just started work, my supply is so low, and I was like, I think I need to start formula. And she was like, okay, let's talk about how to do it. And I was like,
that's amazing.
That's awesome.
And that's why we need more consultants like that, like you, who take into consideration what is best, not just for the baby, but what's best for the mom. How can we work with what they already have, with the tools that they have available to them? So thank you so much for being that consultant for moms. It's so needed, so needed. And let's talk about your event. Oh my God.
Okay.
Eat,
now we can get
sleep.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. So when I was thinking of an event, I was thinking of like moms are like overloaded with information like nonstop.
Yeah.
And you could go down a rabbit hole on everything developmentally appropriate for your baby.
Yep.
And I was trying to think of like, okay, parents like you and I, we're super busy. Like, what could be the easiest way to get the information that parents need? So with Eat, Play, Sleep, it's in Jersey City at NARA. We both know and love NARA. And it's October 4th, which is a Saturday from 10:30 to 12:30. And it's basically a master class with a feeding expert, play expert, and me as a sleep expert. And it's basically you're going to be able to walk away from that event knowing how to engage in play with your child without having to buy like 1,000 Amazon boxes every week.
Oh my goodness.
With things that you have already in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to walk away feeling confident on what and how to feed your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be able to walk away with really actionable, tangible sleep routines to have your baby sleep through the night. And it's really geared for parents with babies ages 3 to 12 months. And I'm just so excited for it. And I was, when we talk about all those key aspects of a baby's development and growth, from feeding them, engaging in developmental play, and then having them sleep to their best ability, like, it's not just for the babies, because the impact that information gives the parents is like showing up better for work and for themselves and for their other kids and their partners, and being able to have like their 10-month-old engage in simple play so that they can finish their coffee. Or also not questioning and second guessing themselves every time they put a food in front of them, in front of their baby. So it's like empowerment through education, which I'm so incredibly excited for.
That's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so excited on so many levels. First, that you were taking into consideration that parents don't have time to go to 3 different master classes, so you're just doing one. And not to mention that I feel like these 3 important aspects of that new baby, 1-year-old phase, they all play into each other.
Yeah,
they
100%.
They're all connected.
100%.
If your baby is playing the right way, or not the right way, but if your baby is being stimulated playfully in the way that your baby needs to be stimulated, then that plays into the sleep. How are you going to get them to regulate themselves for nighttime? And then during the day, obviously diet and their food and their food intake really does generate into the play and the sleep aspect. So they are all connected, and having all of this wealth of information on this day for your event is going to be just so life-changing for a lot of these parents who I feel like spend more time trying to figure out what to feed them, what to play, how to make them sleep, than the actual act of playing, sleeping, and
Exactly. And it's, like you said, it's so incredibly interconnected. When we talk about sleep, we're talking about, hey, have they had enough calories during the day to be able to have the energy to play and engage effectively, and to be able to sleep?
Bring it full circle.
Yeah, it's like literally a full circle. So
amazing.
I'm so excited.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. So we will put at the end of this episode, we'll put how people can reach out to you, how people can find tickets for this amazing event. It's on Eventbrite, correct?
Yes, it's on Eventbrite. Instagram is like my go-to for communications. So that's at Your Sleep Babe on Instagram. And then you'll be able to see the
link in the bio.
Exactly, link in the bio for Eventbrite.
Perfect.
For my website, for if you want to chat with me.
Yeah, amazing. amazing. So we'll put all of that at the end of this episode. If you guys have any questions, if you want to reach out to Colette, you can find her at Your Sleep Babe on Instagram, correct?
Exactly.
I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much. Even I had a mom reach out to me and ask if she's pregnant currently.
That's
Can
amazing.
she come?
Yeah,
I said,
that'd be such a good prep.
I think any mom who is expecting to 12 months can come.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
even if you have a 2-month-old,
Oh, yeah,
you
that's
can
perfect.
prepare. You're never,
Exactly.
you know, it's never too late to prepare, never too early to prepare.
Exactly.
So, if you're a mama who's expecting or a mama who's got a 12-month-old and want to come to this amazing event, please go to our Instagrams. We're doing a ticket giveaway. We will announce the winner on September 25th. And one lucky mama is going to get a chance to go to this event free of charge. And then also you can apply to do the giveaway for my event, The Shape of Her Light, who is also for mamas, that Colette has so generously sponsored a ticket for my event. So we're just here supporting each other as women, as moms, as business owners, because that's what this podcast is all about, and that's what this friendship is all about, I feel like.
No joke.
And
no
it's just
joke.
like that's how our friendship has flourished into this beautiful thing. So if there's anything that you take away from this episode, aside from all of the beautiful knowledge that Colette has, it's also that we need to support each other more. Women need to support other women who are on the same journeys. Of course, different experiences, but we're all on the same boat, and that support that we've given each other has really helped us elevate our game in our businesses, and you know, the friendship is the cherry on top.
Yes, no joke. No
So
joke.
thank you so much, Colette, for
Thank you,
coming.
Lulu. This means so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yay, I love you.
I love